Hello guys and welcome back to Empire Group Production. My name is Shiko Gitao. If you are new, kindly consider subscribing. So today guys, we have an amazing guest with us, and as you all know, or most of you know, October, that is last month, is a suicide awareness month. So today we are here with ataweza kutuambia jina lake, anajulikana kama Deborah, lakini atatueleza zaidi kuhusu yeye mwenyewe, but she's one person who has a great interesting story. So listen to the end for the whole story. So karibu sana ndani ya Empire.
Thank you. My name is Deborah Joy Juma. I'm 27 years old. I know ladies don't like saying their age, but I'm 27 and I love the Lord. I'm born in a family of 5. I have 4 other siblings and I'm the second born. So my story basically is a story of resilience and mental health struggles, mental illness struggles. I was born when my mom was pretty young. She was 19 and my dad was 21. So I grew up with parents who are still a very young couple. So my mom had to go back to school and my dad took care of us for a while, then took us to our grandmother. So for the most part of our growth, we were with our grandmother. And then at 5 years old, my mom finished school and came back for us. So when mom came back for us, she took us to our father again. Now the whole family, my sister, my dad, my mom, and I. But my dad was the harshest man ever. He was very harsh. He was very abusive. He used to beat my mom and he would beat us too. He didn't like us, I would say, because most of the time he would just look for simple mistakes and beat us with them. So at grade 2, my dad left and went to Nairobi. He came to Nairobi and he never came home. He never sent anything home. Then later when he came back, we followed him at grade 2. We followed him to Nairobi. Then at some point he said we have to go back to the village. So we went back to the village and we were with my mom and my little brother. We were 3 by that time. So my mom started taking care of us, and dad came back when I was in grade 5. Apparently when he came back, he had lost his job, and at that time my mom had gotten a job with the Teacher Service Commission. She works as a teacher. So now we had to remain with our dad in Kitale, and our mom had to go and work in Bungoma where she had been posted. Our dad was very, very mean to us. He used to beat us. I remember he would kick me and I somersault in the air, forget where I am and land wherever I would land. Sometimes he would hold my head with his hands and hold my forehead and hit his head hard on my head, saying that I'll make his head go mad for very simple mistakes. So I never had a chance to feel that love as a child, love from my father or love from my mother. My mother, on the other end, didn't have any say. She couldn't talk, she couldn't say anything because my dad would beat her too. So at some point my dad became a pastor. He was given an opportunity because he was a very, very nice and calm person outside to the outside world, but he was very harsh and very mean to us. So people never understood it when we said that he was harsh. So we actually never told anyone. We acted cool. We went to church well with him, and we acted like we come from this very nice Christian family, and our dad is a pastor and we are admired by everyone. But things were falling apart. So it got so worse until there is a time a lady called my mother and told my mom, "Young woman, you are unable to kill your kids, so you left your kids to their father for him to kill them. And my mom was like, what happens? And that lady told my mom that your kids are beaten badly. So my mom opted to go with us to Bungoma where she was working. So now we would go to Bungoma, we stay with our mom, we school there, and then when school's closed, we come back to where my dad is. My dad was very, very mean, very, very harsh. So at some point, he went out and his head was cut. I hear my mom organized for goons to do that. So at this point, basically, these people are going to kill each other because they were so resentful. They were not buying stuff in the house. They were throwing tantrums everywhere. Like my mom would say, go to dad to buy sugar. When you go to my dad, he slaps you. You go back and say there's no money. You don't say you are slapped, but they don't buy sugar. So you take sugarless tea. You take food without salt. You lack tea leaves in tea, you know, such things. So we struggled so much, and we were the ones as children who were suffering. So at some point, we were now supposed to join high school. I went to a different school with my sister. You know, with my sister is 1 year older than me, but we have schooled together from grade 1 to form 4. So we went to different high schools. And then we get to high school. At this time, we close school, and one teacher calls me, and she just tells me openly that you're not going home, you're going to where your mother lives. I didn't ask questions. I just went. When I got to my mom's place, I found everything there. I found my clothes there, my shoes there, and because there is no rapport with my mom, because we don't talk much with my mom, I didn't like ask questions. I didn't say anything about it. We just started living, and up to date, nobody has ever explained to us what transpired. My dad left us. He deserted the family. This is the 13th year. We have never known where he lives. We don't know where he went to be, but he is still there. Rumors have it that he got married, he remarried, and he has other children, but I'm not sure about that. Just rumors have that. So we stayed with our mom. In high school, life was very hard now because we were 5 children now at that time, 5 children, and it's a single room and with my mom only. So we struggled. At some point, I used to be sent home for fees every now and then. There's a time they almost kidnapped me because I chose a wrong vehicle. I was almost kidnapped to Uganda. So we struggled and struggled and struggled, but finally, somehow, God just made things work well, and I passed my KCSE. In Form 2 is when I started having depression. I didn't know I had depression. What happened was just that during break time, I would go out and sleep. And then I would sleep and later wake up two lessons after. You know, I go to class, 2 lessons have passed. That is when I knew something was wrong with me. But I couldn't explain. I didn't know it was a mental illness. I didn't know I was going through post-traumatic stress disorder until I finished my Form 4 and I got a B+. So I got a letter to go to KU. That was just a miracle. I cannot explain how I got a B+. And one thing that kept me going was my faith. The only thing that I had at school is faith, because I was hopeless, but the faith that I saw my dad professing, even if he didn't mean it as a pastor, that faith stuck still. I think that is why the Bible talks about training a child in the ways of the Lord and they will not depart even when they grow old. So that is the only thing that really you could not take away from me, my faith. So I stood still, I finished, I joined campus. Shock on me. I didn't know that when you go to campus, you have to pay to get meals. I didn't know that when you go to the mess, you have to pay some fee to get a receipt and then get food. I just got my help loan, paid my fees, and now knew that life is going to be easy in campus. I went to the mess, and I was told I have to pay money for me to eat. There is nothing for free, and that is when my life was actually crashing completely, because I didn't know where to get money. So now I resolved into working as a nanny. I started working for people, and it was very frustrating, very traumatizing, because I have mental illnesses. I am rejected. I don't even feel any love from my father or from my mother. I don't even feel love from my father or my mother, but still I am here. I have to work hard. Like, if I calculate the lessons the lectures that I attended in campus, they are less than 50%, because most of the time I was out there looking for money, working hard. I get my hair blown, I go out there, I work hard. I started writing poems so that during events I could present the poems. I didn't even know that I'm a writer. That is the time I knew that I could write a poem and go present. There's a time in 2017 where I presented, and I was the best solo performer, and out of all the pain. So something that happened, which was very strange, is that at some point I started leaving the room and going outside at midnight. I just find myself in the market in the middle of the night with no shoes and with my pajamas. So I knew something was wrong. And one of my friends called Esther told me, I think we need to go to the health unit and see what is wrong with you. And that is when I was diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It is called CPTSD. So when I was diagnosed with that, I went to Kitui County Hospital. That is where I was treated. I was given medication, and I was put on psychotropic medication for a period of time. So I took the medications, and then I was supposed to finish school. So I finished school and went back to the village. At the village, nobody knows about mental health. Nobody knows that I need to get medication. I have not told anybody that I get medication from there, So I started going down and down again. I decided to volunteer with a certain organization. It's a children's rehabilitation center for street children called Molo Street Children Project. So now I went there, I worked for them, and after that it was time for my graduation. Those people were kind enough, they paid for my graduation fees and everything, and I graduated. So after graduation I was supposed to start working. I am here, understand myself. I don't have feelings for anything. I am just existing, I'm just there. But I had to work. I had to wake up early, go to work, and just try and help, because I was again helping my mom and my siblings, I was now the breadwinner at that time. So I worked so hard, I struggled so hard, and then I chose to come to Nairobi later, because now the village, they were paying me very little money, and I needed more money to help my family. So I had to come to Nairobi. And one of the friends that I had made, called Naomi, from the children's home where I had volunteered, told me I can stay with her. So I went and stayed with her at Santon in Kasarani. But she also didn't have a good job. She was doing online work. So now we struggled together, we lived together, but it was a real struggle. Then one time I just in 2018, I was on Facebook scrolling, and then I get to this group. It's called What to Do Before and After You Say I Do. I didn't want to get married, but I just wanted to learn what these people were saying. And then I inboxed one person in that group called Nungari. I asked her, I'm going through this and this and this, how do I get help? And she was like, I cannot post this in the group, I'll give you a therapist. And that introduced, now she introduced me to a therapist, my therapist. She's called Grace Kariuki Nderitu. She introduced me to a therapist. And that is when now we started processing the trauma. That is when I knew that I was traumatized. I had a hard time, I had sensations, I felt suicidal when we were processing. It was very, very hard, but she was patient with me. At some point she even invited me to live with her, because she wanted to see me well. And up to date, we live together actually. Yeah, she was very nice and very kind to me. So we stayed together. She helped me to process my trauma, and she introduced me to a psychiatrist who now started giving me some psychotropic medication again. I am still taking the medication even as we speak. I do diazepam and quitipine at night, and then during the day I do Zosat and Aten. So I'm still on psychotropic medication, but my brain is balanced now. You know, I was diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, bipolar, and borderline personality disorder. So bipolar was making me go so high and so low. Like I didn't have that mood. I couldn't balance my mood. So now the medication helped me, and we continued with the processing. And I think at this time now, that is why I'm even able to share. It's because Grace Karukinderitu has helped me to be able to talk, to be able to process, to be able to come out and speak out about my mental health. And that is basically my journey. I have struggled and struggled with mental health, with rejection, but I am here. Yeah.
You a little bit talked about being suicidal.
Yes.
Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that tough period.
I was very suicidal. I have been suicidal for around 4 times. And the first time I remember, I tried to take rat to poison myself, but it didn't work. I think I just fell down, I collapsed, and I didn't take it. In campus, and that didn't work. And then when I started living with Grace Karukinderitu, I also became very suicidal. So now what happened, I always felt like I want to commit suicide. Like she would find me trying to hang myself. She would find me trying to overdose. She has walked with me and seen all this. So these periods that I was suicidal were my very, very low moments that I can't even explain them. I just felt like I want the world to open up and burst and let me go and disappear. That is what I was feeling. But the processing and the therapy helped me to come back to my senses. Yeah.
This whole time, did you ever talk to your mom, to your siblings?
No, I never. Actually, they don't know that I have mental health issues. I never talked to them about that. I don't have a close relationship with my mother. Our relationship is basically money. Most of the time I send her money to help my siblings, but we don't have the mother-daughter bond. I don't have any relationship with my dad, even as at now, because now this is the 13th year he left. I don't know where he went to. I have never gone looking out for him. So no, we have never talked about the mental health issues with them. Yeah.
Deborah, it's beautiful seeing you courageously share your story with us right here and to the many people watching us. Maybe, we see people posting sad situations on social media platforms, but it's so unfortunate that a lot of people out there don't take these things with the seriousness that it's needed.
Yeah.
So what is that one thing that you have learned during this whole time when you had mental illnesses?
You know, one thing that I would want to tell the viewers even right now is this idea of saying that somebody who is suicidal cannot commit suicide, cannot tell you they will just commit suicide, is a lie. Never buy that idea where people say that if somebody is suicidal, they will just wake up and kill themselves. No, the symptoms show. They start slowly by slowly. The person withdraws, the person feels helpless, and then lastly the person commits suicide. Never take it lightly when someone says that I am suicidal or I am having this mental health issue. You need to take it seriously. You need to listen. You need to be there. You need to be present. And one thing that I say, if you don't want to help someone, then at least don't hurt them. Just leave them. You don't have to comment. You don't have to tell them everybody has issues. You don't have to do that. And this is what I normally call silence ministry. Sometimes just be silent. Listen, and if you cannot offer anything, any assistance, say sorry and let it be at that. Do not start posting things and attacking that person and saying, when are you, what do you, sometimes even people ask, how do you want to commit suicide? I can give you a rope. I have seen that on social media. So that one should be avoided. It is not nice. Yeah, it is not nice.
So guys, you have heard it from the lady herself, and I don't know, you're holding something on your hand.
Yeah, I have a book. This book is titled When Life Hurts. I wrote this book when I was in a mental hospital. I was so suicidal, I was so down, but God just put in my spirit to write down this book to encourage someone. It has very, very personal stories, my personal stories that I share vulnerably, but at a point of a victor, not at a point of a victim. Very, very vulnerable parts of my life, but strong. Yeah. It's called When Life Hurts. Yeah.
So maybe there's someone out there who would want to get a copy of it.
Yeah, if you want to get a copy of When Life Hurts, it goes for 500 shillings only. You can contact me on 0701 469644. That is 0701 469644. You can also reach out to me on Facebook at Deborah Joy Juma or Instagram at Deborah Joy Juma. Yeah.
So guys, you have heard it yourself. There is this beautiful book by the name When Life Hurts, and we are going to share her number right there kwenye comment section. If you are in need of this beautiful book, then you can reach out to Deborah, or you can also reach out to her via her social media platforms at Deborah Joy Juma on Facebook and on Instagram, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video, but before we end it, remember, it is okay not to be okay.
Yes.
And at that time when you feel like it's your lowest, please talk out to someone.
And maybe one thing I should also say is that broken crayons still color.
Wow.
Yes.
There is still hope for you. And if you can't talk to someone, please talk to God. I believe pia yeye anaweza kusaidia in one way or another. So thank you so much guys for watching this video. Until next time, I've been your host Shiko Guitar. Remember kwenye mitandao yote ni at Empire Group Production. Unaweza nipata pia mimi at I_am Shiko Guitar on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and on TikTok.
And then something that I had not told you is that on 12th of this month, I'll be launching this book When Life Hurts at Alliance Fonse, and entry is free. You will get there for free and you can grab yourself a copy. You will get to listen more about myself and you'll get to listen more about When Life Hurts. When life hurts, God still holds you. Thank you.